Well, good morning or afternoon or whenever you watch this, and welcome to my kitchen, Rita's Roast. I've got a whole bunch of these squash here. Whoop. Here I go making a mess. I've got a bunch of yellow squash fresh from the garden, and I washed them up, and we've been frying them and been eating them. But you know what I'm going to do with them now? I'm going to make cake out of them. I think it's going to be pretty good. I found a recipe, so we're going to use these yellow squash and a can of pineapple, and we're going to see how this cake turns out. I haven't made this particular recipe before, but I'm betting it's going to be good. Y'all want to stay around and see how it turns out? I bet you do. I bet you'll show up when there's something to eat. That's what they do around my place. They show up when it's time to eat it. All right, let's get started. I said I'm going to have to read the recipe as we go along. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put 2 cups of sugar in my mixer. 2 cups of sugar and a cup of vegetable oil. Let me beat sugar and eggs up. Well, I should have not done that. I should have put the eggs in there first. I got 4 eggs. Let me get my eggs. This video, if I can edit it, it'll be in 1 part. If not, it'll be a 2-part video when I bring the cake back. When the cake gets done, it'll show you. Now, I'm going to turn that on. Well, that mixes up. We're going to measure our flour. Let me get that. Let's see, 2 cups of flour. There's 1 cup. There's 2 cups of flour. And we want to... Let's start with what it goes for, so that way I don't get out of whack. 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. Sure that's cinnamon and not chili powder or something. 2 teaspoons of baking powder. 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Teaspoon of salt. Where's the salt shaker go? Well, I'm just going to take a teaspoon of salt out of here. Did you get all that? 2 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Alright. Alrighty, I think I got all that right. We won't ever know if I didn't, will we? And I'm just going to whisk that up so that cinnamon's mixed in there. Let me go back to read the directions again here. Now, I'm going to hold up just a second while I get this pineapple ready. I'm going to drain this pineapple. Get that lid. I could have already had this done, but I didn't. Leave it to me to go off half. I'm going to drain that, and I'm also going to get my 2 cups of grated squash. pick some of the smaller ones because I think they'll have smaller seeds in them. It'll work better. And I've got a better mandolin than this thing. This one's broken, but I like this one. I use it all the time. Let's get 2 cups. See my squash? Kind of looks like coconut's what it kind of looks like. I'm going to do this other little one. I bet you that's 2 cups, don't you? We'll measure it just a second. Well, that's not 2 cups. That's 1. Let's do a little bit more. So it's going to take all 3 of my squash to do the 2 cups. Oh, I think I forgot to preheat the oven. And I still got to prepare my pan. I didn't come in here prepared to do a video very good, did I? Now, we'll have that and that. Now, let's turn around back over here and let's put our flour in here. KitchenAid splashes flour out sometimes. Does yours do that? See? You did it again. It's a mess. And move some of this stuff out of my way. I scooted everything over here in front of my camera. Now, I want to grease and flour that pan. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll make it easy. I could grease and flour, but I'm just going to try this. Now, into this batter, make sure that's stirred up. We're going to add our little can of pineapple that I've got drained. And we're going to add our 2 cups of yellow squash. Let me get that. There's our grated yellow squash. Get that folded in there. And I could put some walnuts, but I'm going to save my walnuts till I make sure I like this recipe before I make another one with it. All right, we're going to pour the batter into our pan. Going to be good. Alrighty, I'm going to put this in the oven and probably bake it at 350, so I'm going to guess at about 40 minutes maybe, 30, 40 minutes. That's just a guess. And I'll either be back if I can figure out how to edit videos, or there'll be a part 2. But this is the beginnings of my cake. So I'll see y'all again later somehow, somewhere. Well, I'm still here waiting on the cake to come out of the oven. And so I'm just going to test this video to see if I can get these videos linked together on editing. So this is just a test. But I'm going to, while I'm testing, I'll pop open this oven so you can take a peek at the cake. Can you see it? It's in there. About 15 more minutes left to go. So let's see if my editing's gonna work and I can link these videos together. Be back in a few minutes. Well, it just came out of the oven and it's still piping hot. But I'm gonna hurry it up because the guys are gonna be coming in for lunch in a minute. And so I'll quit making videos and take care of them. Now I've just got a cup of powdered sugar and a couple tablespoons of milk, and this is what I'm going to use for the glaze. And then I'll take a little bite, even though it is lunchtime. It took a little while to bake it, a little longer than what I expected. But I'll try it, and then I'll give the rest of it to my family. I've got to see if it's good. Got to try a piece for us and for them. And it's going to be hot. I'll have to blow on it to let it cool. Let's put that right there. All right, I've got my knife and my plate ready because I kind of going to have to hurry. I'm going to stick to my knife. Let's get that little piece right there in the corner, if I can. And it's coming out. It'd come out better if it cooled a little bit, because remember I sprayed the pan. Let's put that knife right there. Looks like it has a moist texture to it. Pineapple and yellow squash. Ah, it's hot. It really is. They'll be coming in any minute. Are you supposed to eat cake when it's hot? Or are you supposed to let it cool? Or is cake good any way you want it? That's good. If you don't have zucchini, but you have yellow squash, I'd make this cake. And my little garden's putting out a lot of these yellow squash right now. That's just pretty good. And you know me, I have to eat this. Do I tell them it has yellow squash in it, or do I just surprise them? I don't think they would ever know if I didn't tell them. I'm going to slow down and chew it slow and enjoy it, because when they come in a minute, then it'll be all crazy again around here. So I just need to enjoy my cake, don't I? You need to try it. And it would be really good if I'd put those English walnuts in it, but I didn't. But you can if you want to. Probably even some raisins would be good. When I have extra yellow squash anymore from the garden, I'm not going to buy squash from the grocery store to do it, but if I've got a bunch of yellow squash, I'm going to make this again. Let's have one more thing. I've got lunch almost ready. I made these little cornbread fritters today for them. And you know, it's got yellow squash in it. I grated up some of that squash. Well, that's cornbread with squash. And this is cake with squash. All right, I gotta go. I'm taking care of my family. You feed yours too. What you gonna feed yours? I'm gonna feed mine. I'm gonna be frugal, and whatever I have on hand, I'm gonna use it and make something good with it. That's what I like to do. Bye, y'all.